I did. We're recording now, everybody, but we're not
It's
live yet,
90
so we're
days.
going
I thought
live.
it was like 6 months.
Yeah, it's more than
It's
that.
much
more
less
than
than
a
that.
much
year?
less than that, much less than you think. It's 60 days from the time it was on your bill, okay? And it's for air travel, it's like 112 days or something like that. From the
Does each
date
card
of
have a
the
different
this is MasterCard and Visa, from the date of the travel. So like the date of travel was July 2nd. So the he said, okay, you had till like 3 months later, July, August, September, October sometime. And I contacted them early October, so I was out of luck. But it was very frustrating with Capital One. It was Capital One Visa, so I was frustrated with them at first because when I first contacted them, I feel like I was past my statute of limitations already, but turns out I sort of was right on the verge. But then anyway, they were not very helpful at first, but then I got a guy yesterday who was very helpful in calling the company and requesting information about the refund that they didn't provide yet. And the people just lie through their teeth. It's crazy.
I like your theme music, by the way, Ken. I like the theme
But
music.
that's the phone ringing in the background. That's the phone ringing.
Oh, I thought that was your new theme song. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to
Anyway, it's very frustrating because it's $500 worth. And by the way, my $500 is nothing compared to some of the reviews that I've read on TripAdvisor about this company. You look it up. They're supposedly located on Spencer in Las Vegas. That's an office building address. And I'm tempted to go to that address and see what it is and see what kind of people are there.
Let's do this. Let's put that. Just table this for 1 second, right? Because we just went live, and so let's just say who we are and what we're doing. Welcome everybody to our current event show. This 182nd meeting today. I believe is what's today's date? Anybody know what today's date is?
Isn't it the Ides of November?
Oh, it's the 16th. Is today the 16th or the 15th?
14th.
Well, it's 15th. The 16th where I am.
15th.
Oh, but 15th. It's the 15th where you are. So that's it. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to our current event show. Everything you hear today is an opinion, so do your own research. And so Kenny was telling a story about not buying tickets directly from the airlines. And now he has found that there is a statute of limitations with the credit card company. This is big news, ladies and gentlemen. Big news. Okay, go back, Kenny. Now.
So what I found from Capital One, which is is it a Visa or a MasterCard? I think it's a Visa. But he said he referred to the statute of limitations being a Visa MasterCard thing. In other words, it's not Capital One's statute of limitations. But anyway, so I'm beyond the statute of limitations for filing a dispute with a vendor. So I never heard of such a thing. I thought you had like an infinite amount of time. And I was kind of bummed that I wasn't told when I first contacted them that I was already beyond the statute of limitations when I contacted them, because I hadn't looked at my bills in months. And I went, well, I don't think I ever got that refund. And sure enough, I had not received the refund yet.
Well, one of the things that I do, just so that never will happen to me, is that I put everything into either QuickBooks or one of my accounting softwares. And so as soon as I know that I'm getting a refund, I put it in there. And if it doesn't show up on the statement, then when I reconcile, I see that it's open, and then I do it. That way I know that I won't lose any refunds in that respect.
I'm with you. I usually do the same thing, but it's the get the statement and compare it to the transactions in QuickBooks that I didn't do because I haven't looked at the statement in months.
Well, however, this leads right into the topic of today's show. The headline of today's show, or what we're calling today's show, is "You Should Write a Book." There you go. You should write a book. Now, I wasn't thinking about writing a book about, a technical subject like, being ripped off by a airline company that's not really an airline company, that is a wolf in airline company clothing, So, but you have to be careful about that kind of stuff. And that's why I will always book my airline tickets directly from the airlines. There's, when you book through either TripAdvisor or I believe, or I usually would go through Agoda, or I would go through My Price, Priceline,
Expedia, all those kind of
Expedia.
companies.
The challenge is with that is that you're at the mercy of their policy compared to that of the airline. So if there's any changes or delays or whatever, you have to go through the place that you bought the ticket, not from the airline.
And did you know that there are rules and regulations from the government about what the airline has to do in terms of refunds and so forth, but that those rules and regulations do not apply to those third-party companies?
I didn't know that, but if you hum a few bars of it, maybe it'll come to mind.
Can you try it in B minor? B minor. Hey, David is here. How you doing, David? Where are you?
Hello, David. Welcome to the show.
You're
Speaking
muted.
about writing a book,
You're
well,
in silent mode, David.
well,
You're
when
like
David
a silent
first
movie.
started show business, when David first started, but he was the silent kind. He was a mime, and now he's back.
Right.
So there you go. We're stuck. We're stuck.
He'll get it.
Anyway,
He'll get it. Okay, we're waiting for David to unmute his microphone.
Until David, see him we're a podcast as well. I can't let the air go that dead for that long a period of time. But I will tell you that we are picking up steam. We got 9 new subscribers to our YouTube channel. We've had 730 total views and 974 minutes watched of the thousands and thousands of hours that I have out there. So I mean, I am like a superstar now. I feel great about that.
You're what they call on fire. There's David. How's it going, David? Where are you?
So I'm in Jackpot, Nevada at Cactus Pete's Casino. We open tomorrow for 3 nights, and they're all heading over to the coffee shop to have dinner. So
You're talking
on my
about
way, and
Hotel
I said,
California?
Yeah, my buddies.
That's great.
So as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'll head to the coffee shop and I'll introduce you to them.
Jackpot, Nevada. Now, what part of Nevada
Jackpot.
is that in, David?
It's, you know how when you're in Harrah's and Tahoe, when you walk out the door and you're in California? Well, when you go to the end of this property and you're in Idaho.
Oh, okay. You're in Idaho. Okay.
So it's
I
as
didn't even
close
know
to
where Idaho
as
and
you can-
California meet. Wow.
It's northern Nevada, right in the middle of the state.
Oh, how
So
about that?
David, the next story I wanted to talk about, you have some experience with, and remember, you should write a book. Okay. So David, and he will tell you about this. There's a place called Tony Roma's, and Tony Roma's, for those who don't know it, is, David, you could take it from there.
Tony Roma's has some of the best ribs anywhere. And they were a chain that had a lot of places, and they're no longer around. I don't know what happened, but they're no longer as popular as they were. So most of the Tony Roma's are gone. But it was one of those places that was a great place to have ribs. And I used to do a show every year, a convention in Florida, and it was within walking distance of a Tony Roma's from the hotel. And Tony Roma's always had this policy of giving you a free meal on your birthday, which was great because these are $25 meals, right? A rack of ribs. So I was doing the show around my birthday every year. And so I would take all the other engineers. There were about 10 A1, first engineers doing all these breakout rooms. And we would all walk over to Tony Roma's. I'd have my free meal. They go, "Oh, we want to buy you dinner." I said, "It's free. Just come and we'll all have a good time." So we're there, and they also would have on like Monday nights all you can eat ribs. So I would make that the night for us to go, and so we would sit there, 10 of us, and order more ribs and more ribs and more ribs, and we never let them take away the bones. We just let them pile up until we had this giant pile of bones where you could sit behind it and disappear. And so we took these pictures of the whole group with all of these bones. And then I took a picture of me with my thumbs up, smiling behind this pile of bones. It looked like a person had been eaten. That's how many bones there were. So Tony Roma's ended up having a contest called Rib Face. And they wanted pictures of people with slathered, rib juice running down their faces and all that. And mine was after the dinner, all cleaned up and everything. So I never thought about it. But my mother, who was really smart, said, "Why don't you enter that picture?" And I said, "Because I'm not a rib face." She says, "Enter it anyway." I won the grand prize. I won 3 ribs for a year at Tony Roma's.
You have to send us the picture so I can put it up so people could see it as well. You know,
I remember seeing that somewhere. You posted it on Facebook or something, right?
Yeah, of course I posted it. I was really proud. I won the grand
That's
prize.
funny.
and the reason I bring this story up, even though it has nothing to do with Tony Roma's, but before I tell you why, a little aside. In the movie Casino, when the car gets blown up at the end, when they kill the De Niro character, I believe, that took place at the Tony Roma's parking lot in Las Vegas.
Right.
Just an FYI.
Which
So
is
anyway,
celebrating 50 years this year.
50. Who's celebrating 50 years?
Tony Roma's down at the legendary grill.
There's still a few
well,
of
there
them.
you have it. So there's still a few of them around. So there you go. This is a public service announcement that if you want to eat ribs, Tony Roma's is around celebrating its 50th anniversary. But forget about that for right now, because the whole story is that Chili's, you know that song, baby, 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 they just hired Boys to Men to redo that song. And so we will be inundated on television commercials with Boys to Men singing the baby back rib song from Chili's. And I went a long way to tell that story. I guess I thought you were
going to refer to the fact that David could write a book with all these different adventures that he has been in.
Well, that's the
nice
whole thing.
Nice tie-in.
That's the whole thing, Kenny, because I want to start another podcast or as well, is that you should write a book about this. So how many times have I told stories about my experiences in the entertainment business that people have said to me, you should write a book? And that's what I want to do. And so this is just a segment that will spin off into the show. And I will
you could do like Jimmy Akabuski did, just write down a little tidbit of part of the story each day, and then compile all those notes, and you'll have a whole book full of stories. I remember when I was 16 or 17 years old and in high school, and I was working for a local band, and I set up their sound system, and I had all kinds of challenges doing that. I wrote a essay in English class about it, and I remember getting a huge praises from the English teacher for such a great essay because I told all about the things that I did. I described plugging in the snake and plugging in the power amp and getting up on top of the speakers, putting the horns up on top, and all these different things. And I guess I described that very well because he thought it was a great essay.
Well, there you go. And that's the whole thing. And so I'm going to go to all the people that I know, including you and David and Greg, and we're going to interview about, hey, you should write a book. Tell us one story from your life, or maybe two, about why people have said to you, you should write a book. And so there you go.
So my friend Craig Hayes wrote this book. Can you see it? I don't know. See that?
It's showtime.
Right. That's Craig Hayes' book. He's Barbara Hayes' son, and
Well, I don't know who Barbara Hayes is, and I don't know who your friend.
She was a big time player.
I haven't read his book.
She was a big player at the Riviera in Vegas in the old days. But it says Our Lives Behind the Scenes in Las Vegas Showroom Stages. How about that, huh? I thought that was pretty cool that he wrote a book. He wrote a book, and it's not a small book. It's
Well, there's a lot of pictures in it, then, right? Right? My book would have a lot of pictures. I want to write a book also.
You mean your book wouldn't be as big as Barbara's book? 500 pages.
Yeah, no. I think if I was ever going to write a book, my book would be pictures from inside my cave. That's about it. It's the caveman drawings of Jan Landy. You have it. So there we have it. Anyway.
In your book, you could put this note. You could put this note that I saved since 1997 that says, let's see if we can focus on it. Can you see it?
We see you holding up a piece of paper. Let me see if we can read it.
Can you read it?
Money is a great fucking tool, man. That's it. And that's true. Money.
Oh, look at the date. Look at the date. It's today. No, it's the 14th. Yesterday, but about how many years ago would that be? 25 years ago? 26 years ago. How about
And
that? That's funny.
Here's something interesting that today, where I am, of course, where you are not, is today is the anniversary of Soundbroker as a corporation. Soundbroker Corporation. We
Wow!
incorporated
Congratulations.
back in 1997. So you do the math. Decades, Kenny.
Because you knew that money is a great tool.
Even then, I knew it. Even then, I knew it. You know,
Right.
I mean, there's one thing that, one thing about money that I'm really good at. I'm really good at spending money. I mean, amazingly good.
Yeah.
I am so good at spending money, I could even do it in my sleep. Now, how else could, I mean, really?
Yeah. We can all
not
do
the
that,
only
Jan.
one.
Come
You
on.
all
Yeah.
do that.
So David, I'm hoping that I get to meet George on your phone there. Are you going to see George?
No, George isn't coming to dinner. He's not going to eat for another couple of hours. But I'm trying to show you the picture. Did you guys see it?
No, we didn't see it yet.
I'm on my phone. I don't know how to do it.
Right. Yeah,
Nah, it's
share
a
your
little more
screen, huh?
difficult. We'll do it. You'll send a picture and I'll implant it into this thing. So that's the
I'll
best.
send it to you. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay, very good. All right. So on a sadder note, Frank Borman, the astronaut who led the first orbit of the moon, he died at 95 years old. That's not so sad. He commanded the 1968 Apollo 8 mission that carried 3 astronauts further from Earth than anyone had ever traveled before. And then he went on to run Eastern Airlines. And evidently, Eastern Airlines, he ran it into the ground because Eastern Airlines is no longer with us. So congratulations, Frank. You lived a good life. Congratulations. And then, did you hear this story about this? The astronauts up at the space station, they lost a tool bag. They dropped. They were out there doing the spacewalk, and somehow they left the tools. And the tools are now traveling at 8 million miles an hour, and it's right in front of them. They can see the tool bag, but they can't get to it because it's traveling in space with them. But it's in front of the space capsule, so they can't get to it. So.
Talk about a resume generating event.
Yeah, I'm not a scientist, so I don't quite understand that. Why are those tools traveling at that speed?
Well, because there's no gravity, and so the inertia will keep it going.
There's no air resistance, so they were traveling at 17,000 miles an hour. The space station is traveling at 17,000 miles an hour. The tools are traveling at 17,000 miles an hour.
It's just like if you're in an airplane. Okay, you're taking a cross country flight. That plane's maybe going 600 miles an hour. You throw an orange up into the air, that orange is going 600 miles an hour. Okay, and then it comes down in your hand. Well, they left those tools out there, and so those tools are going 600 miles an hour. They probably hit them or something in order to give them the inertia to be ahead of the space station, or the space station moved for whatever reason because
they didn't attach them. They didn't attach them to whatever they were supposed to attach them to, and they floated away.
Yeah, they didn't tether them, and then evidently the inertia put them in front of it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, speaking of this, right now, traveling in space and traveling on an airplane, more than 55 million Americans are expected to travel over Thanksgiving, which is next week. So happy Thanksgiving, by the way, everybody. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there's going to be over 55 million Americans traveling. So that's pretty cool.
Jan, look for the photo, by the way.
Okay, and here's something that's really interesting, right? So there's this woman, and I forgot her name, but she's basically not very a famous woman, and she won a Grammy or a country, not a Grammy, a country music award, I believe. And she was so excited. She found out just before they took off on the plane, and so she started singing. And even though she had a great voice, people really weren't interested in having her sing on the plane, And so people started complaining, but she wouldn't stop. So the flight attendant came over and said, "Hey, man, you got to calm down. Oh, I just won this. But people, great. But people here on the plane are not interested." And she would, so she wouldn't stop singing. And so they told her that if you don't stop singing, we're going to land the plane and throw you off. and she refused to stop singing. She said, okay. And then she went in her seat and she was singing to the guy next to her. And my understanding is the guy didn't want to hear it. He just didn't want to hear it. And so they forced landed the plane, threw her up, and now she can't fly anywhere. So, I mean,
Wow,
do your own
man.
research on that story. I just heard that just before.
Hey, there's Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Wayne. There you go.
Nice to hear
Wayne's
us or
excited
something.
about being here. I could see it.
Yeah, he's totally thrilled.
Oh, man, look at that smile. And the cashier cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, all.
Cashier cat. Hello.
You came in right at the end of a fun story, Wayne. We were laughing our asses off, and then you came in and said hello.
Yeah, you brought us all down, Wayne. Damn, man.
Oh, Mickey Mouse will help.
All right, very
So,
good.
yeah.
And you're not
Hey.
supposed to say hello. It's supposed to be good day.
Yeah, g'day,
Yeah,
g'day.
Good
How you
day,
going?
mate. Good day. Just came in from your walkabout.
Well, I did go walkabout this morning. I went to the Rock, where they where they had the world album launch for Rock or Bus tour for AC/DC.
See, there
Oh,
you go.
cool.
You should write a book about that. I could tell you right now. There it is.
I don't know if that's absolutely totally true, but they certainly did have a function out there for that.
Well, listen, you don't have to worry about telling the truth on this show. This is an opinion show. Make up your own opinions as they go. By the way, though, so
Carry
is there
on.
any opinion you want to share that may or may not be true? You know,
Well, I probably did have a few, but I've forgotten them now. I just ate a
you
pizza.
know, what my mom used to say. Look, if you can't remember, it couldn't have been that important. So that's what she used
No,
to say to me.
it'll come back to me in a minute. So,
Well,
how's everyone going?
It's going well. I mean, you know who's doing really well right now? Lainey Wilson. Do you know who Lainey Wilson is?
Not really, no.
Anybody in the room know who Lainey Wilson is? Obviously, there's no
Country
one in this
singer.
room that's into country music, but
Country
she won
singer.
5 trophies, including Entertainment of the Year at the Country Music Association Awards. She's 31 years old, born in Louisiana, and she was the undisputed star of the Country Music Awards. I guess her big hits are Wildflowers and Wild Horses. And so there you have it, you know. So Lainey Wilson, congratulations.
let's
You know,
look-
you're invited to come on the show and talk about a story that people say you should write a book about. There you go. That's all I can say.
Taylor Swift's in Australia at the moment, yeah?
I thought she was in Argentina.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they had a sold out show in Australia. Oh, maybe it's not on yet.
Not
I just
yet.
had it on the
Anywhere she goes, she's selling out. I mean, selling out in a good way. She's not selling out. She's selling out in a good way. She's selling tickets and concert tickets, and it's become an event. It's just one of those things where wherever she appears, businesses do millions and millions of dollars to support it. And are you ready, Dave? Are you ready?
You want to
do
meet the
some
band? Let me introduce you to
well,
the band.
but before you go into meeting the band, we should tell people who they are, what band it is, and what you're doing.
Okay, so this is Hotel California, a salute to the Eagles, the only authorized Eagles band, tribute band. And these are fabulous musicians. And this is the younger part of the group, because there are some older ones and the younger ones. So here's Braxton.
Hi, how are you?
He's our drummer.
Hey, Braxton.
Here's Connor.
Connor.
Connor is
Connor do.
guitar, violin, piano. They all sing.
Multi-talented, huh? Multi-instrumentalist, huh?
This is Caden, who's a tech, is with us. Going to start mixing the band soon, so
Cool.
he can sub for me. And this is Jake. And Jake plays the guitars, pedal steels, and they all sing. And they all kick ass. And they're-
Very good.
that's that.
Well, congratulations on your success as the the Eagle cover band.
Bunch of audio
Unfortunately,
people.
George, the leader of the band, is not there, but George is a great guy. And
he's very
you know,
man of those guys.
I have a question for you, David. Are they allowed to record or sell tapes or tapes?
Yeah,
how old
they
I
have
am.
they sell CDs of the show, every show.
They can.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I mean, as long as you pay royalties, you can do what you want. I mean, well, it's possible that the band could say, we don't want you to play our stuff, but this is the only band that they've officially allowed to do it.
Has Don Henley officially endorsed them? Because Don Henley is known for being a real stickler for that.
Irving Azoff gave him permission.
Well, he's above Don Henley, right?
That's it.
Nice.
The manager says go, you go.
Wow, how
Yeah,
about
that's
that?
it.
Congratulations, that's amazing. So
Yeah,
where do
so
the recordings come from that you sell every show?
Who did the recordings? Who recorded the show?
It was a live show, so it was a soundboard recording.
Oh,
the
in
board?
other words, so it's not that night; it's another show.
Yeah, it's another show. No, we don't burn
See.
CDs every night. No, we're not.
Oh, I
we're
see,
not
gotcha.
that kind of show.
You know, church services do that. If you go to, church services do that.
I'll be
I can
back.
see David in the
So-
in the back of a U-Haul, or back of the bus, going, oh, here you go.
Here's a CD for you, and a CD for you would be like Oprah Winfrey, and you get a CD, and you get a CD. And,
So, David, I have a question for you. Does each
Yeah.
person in the Hotel California band represent a certain person in the Eagles, or do they switch off?
No, I don't know enough about the Eagles to know. I know the songs that Jake sings. I know the songs that Connor sings. Our bass player, Scott, who you didn't meet, I know the songs that he sings, the lead on. Now, I don't know if that's the way the Eagles break up their song.
So, does the bass player have a higher voice? Timothy Schmidt in the
no.
Eagles, he has a
I'd
high voice.
say that Connor might have the higher voice.
Interesting. Okay, so it's probably a little
But-
shuffling around, but okay.
Yeah, Connor definitely does the falsetto stuff. So
now, as far as the material goes, at what point in the show do they do Hotel California?
the last song before the encore.
Okay.
They close the regular show with Hotel California, then they come back and after Hotel California, they stop playing Eagles stuff and they do blues and gospel and country and all sorts of.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, the Eagles section ends at Hotel California, and then they do another 30 minutes of other stuff.
Do they do the song "Life in the Fast Lane"?
Life in Fast Lane's in the first part.
All right, cool.
There you
Sure.
go. And at the end of the show, do they let people leave? Because you could come, you could never check out. You could come, but you could never check out. There you go.
That's it.
So there you
They're
have it.
still there.
You could never
We
leave.
We pack up and the people are still stuck there because you
Right.
can never leave.
Very, very cool.
Fantastic.
Very, very, very cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
So-
fortunately for them, they have an opportunity to reach even a bigger audience right now because the U.S. Census Bureau just estimated that the world's population just passed 8 billion people in the world. There is now 8 billion people in the world. And that is amazing. I wonder how much weight the planet can handle before it falls off its axis.
That depends on which side
Okay.
everyone's on.
What
Top or
axis?
the
It's
bottom?
flat, man.
Yeah.
Fall off the edge.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said that we're all traveling at 800 miles an hour, 800 miles a second. And if the Earth would stop spinning for just 1 second, we would all be thrown off the planet.
We'd
All
be
the waters
drowned.
would collapse. It would be all over.
All the oceans would drown us.
Yep, that's it.
Depends.
Except for
depends on
Aquaman.
where you are, though.
That's true.
If you're in jackpot,
people-
if you're in jackpot, Nevada, you might get thrown off quicker because you're in the
Yeah.
jackpot.
I'm like,
Rather
I'm
than
gonna-
if you're in Greenland,
Hey, listen, Dave, if they serve applesauce there at that cafeteria, don't eat it. Because
It's full of metal?
the CDC is warning that that
guys
healthcare
having
providers
orders
be
yet?
on the lookout for children who may be exposed to lead in applesauce.
That's all right. They haven't come back to us. Yeah.
So be careful. Don't eat any applesauce until the alert is been taken away. So don't eat any applesauce. And I say that, I'll tell you one
Sounds
other
like
thing.
David's doing his own show there.
And a Diet Coke.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you one other thing, which really, which is something, and I don't want to get personal with these guys, but I'm wondering if they change their underwear daily because it just came out. Now this is an amazing story, and Tina might take it from here. Patrick Mahomes confirms that he has only worn one pair of underwear for every game, and I don't even believe that it says here. And he said he only washes them when the team loses.
And they win all the time.
I mean, I wonder, I guess that's why nobody wants a locker around that guy. He just wants to, oh my
That
God.
sounds like Jethro Tull. I remember he would never wash his clothes or take a bath on a U.S. tour. He only wanted to wash in British water.
Oh my
Wow.
Lord.
You mean Ian Anderson? Really? Wow.
Yeah, Ian Anderson. Yeah.
That's drastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was foul smelling on stage. I tell you what, it was bad.
Oh my God. There's I don't know of a worse smell than human body odor that's been fermenting for a while. Oh
Yeah,
my
I can
God.
smell it from here.
Multiply that by a stadium tour, a summer stadium tour.
Oh, yuck.
Nasty.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, remember.
All right, I've got to go. On that note, I got to go. It's dinner time. I can smell there's a lot of great smells here.
Enjoy your baked potato.
I should write a book about it. Segment.
All right.
Yeah,
enjoy your baked potato. Enjoy
All
your
right.
baked
Thanks, you
potato.
guys. Good seeing
Have
you
a great-
guys. Take it easy.
Have a great weekend.
See you, Kenny.
Anyway, so let's see. Bank of America said that if you invested $1 in a large cap U.S. stock 200 years ago, today that $1 would be worth $16 million. $16 million, $1. Of course, you'd be dead because it's 200 years ago. Besides, I don't think they had stocks in those days, but what's the difference? It's just a story that I thought would bring a smile to your face thinking about it, thinking you should write a book about that, Greg, of how many things you should have done that you didn't do. There you go. Like writing the book.
I bought a house for $66,000 that's worth almost $3 million. That's not bad.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good investment. That's a good investment. And I'll tell you another investment that's going down right now. Pink, the artist Pink, she's going to be going on tour in Florida, and she's going to be giving away 2,000 banned books about race and sexuality at all of her Florida stops. So congratulations.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge
for making a
thing
statement.
here. There's a huge thing here because, Florida screwed up politically anyway. So, but yeah, there's a huge controversy about that here. It's all over the news, and people are it reminds me of people protesting Iron Maiden shows because they had their hit 666, the number of the beast, same type of thing, except it's with banned books. Silliness. Absolute silliness.
It is crazy. Yeah, I mean, but she said it's especially hateful to see authorities take aim at books about race and racism and against the LGBTQ authors of these colors. And I'm really with Pink on this. Congratulations, giving out the books. That's great. But who else is giving? You know who else is doing something really worthwhile and giving away? You know who Mackenzie Scott is? Anybody know who Mackenzie Scott is? She was the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, who was the founder of Amazon. And she's giving away her fortune faster than any billionaire in modern times. But despite how much money she's given away, she's still the fourth richest woman in the world, according to Forbes. And basically, as of the end of 2022, she had given away $14 billion across roughly 16,000 causes. And because the stock is doing so well, the billions that she's given away, notwithstanding, that her net worth still managed to grow from 36 billion to 43.6 billion this year. And she is determined to give away most of that money. So
As they say, she can't give it away fast enough.
Mackenzie, if you're listening, I have a wonderful cure that I would like to offer to you to help you with releasing some of that funds. It's to the Jan Landy Retirement Fund. It was the 2025 retirement fund. By the way, if you go to soundbroker.com, on every page at the bottom, there is a link where you could donate to the Jan Landy 2025 retirement fund. And so please give generously. That's all I could say. You know, screw the coffee.
Jan, you should live in West Palm Beach.
Yes, well, I'm living in Thailand with that retirement funds will go a lot more further than it would be in the United States. Although I'm trying to get back to the United States as well. Let's see. So speaking of the Earth and the planet, 3,000 residents in Iceland have to evacuate. Have you guys heard about this? I can't pronounce the town. Grindavik is the country's authorities anticipate that there's going to be an eruption of a volcano. And on Monday, Iceland's Met Office said that the seismic activity is decreasing after thousands of earthquakes have shook the region. Now, David and I have gone through earthquakes together in California, but I can't imagine what it must be like to go through 1,000 earthquakes in a short period of time. It's really a frightening experience.
It's even worse than that, because those earthquakes mean the volcano is about to explode. And that's worse than any earthquake, because the air becomes poisonous. So,
yeah,
they said a magma tube ran from the mountain all the way to the sea, but it just hasn't busted out yet. So
yeah,
but
what's even worse than that, could you imagine the hot foot you would get from that? Oh my God, the hot foot would be amazingly painful.
You wouldn't even register it, because you'd be a cinder.
All right, well.
So, Jan, in a piece of silliness, would that be the Earth farting?
I don't know, Wayne. It's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. There's a lot of good snippets from this. Lots of shorts we can run from this particular episode. Let's see what else. It's Small Business Saturday this weekend, November 25th. I think is this weekend, right? Is that right? Is it this weekend or next weekend? Well, anyway,
it's the day
no matter
after
what.
Black Friday, so it's next
right.
weekend.
So this story, I'll save this story for next week then. There you have it. All right. Let's see. Large stores, including Walmart and Costco, are rethinking the idea of self-checkout lanes. I hear a lot of the companies are saying self-checkout lanes are not working. And I believe that they're not working because of all of the theft that is going on. It is amazing how much theft is. And I mean, Amazon was going to put a personless store where you could go in and everything you could just check out this with your Amazon card, but they had to put a kibosh on that because people were just stealing like crazy, so
they did that in New York, though. That it's still open in New York City.
I'm sure they're losing money, that's for sure.
It's all done with NFC, so as soon as you come in, it goes through your app, and if you walk through, you're charged, and good luck trying to get out of it.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you? I like your ensemble, and pay for it now, okay? Before you walk out the store, you can't be putting that stuff under your shorts like that. That's it. I don't think you're that kind of man anyway. So hey, that's big of you. All right, there you go. Talking about something, okay. So everybody in this room has flexible hours on what we do. Every one of us has flexible hours, and a study has just proven that flexible working hours may reduce the risk of heart disease by up to 10 years compared to the traditional 9 to 5 routine, according to a new study. Researchers found that modifying office hours allowed some workers to lower their cardiovascular risk to a level typically seen among people 5 to 10 years younger than them. And that is why I feel so young at heart. And all of us do, every one of us, even us old timers. We all
Well, that's
feel
our
young.
industry.
And I think that's what it is. And that's why. Now you know why. It's the flexible hours.
Well, there's no routine in our industry. Every day is different.
Yep, that's a really an
That's
amazing
sure.
thing. That is really an amazing thing that, every day is a new day and every day is a new experience, no matter how you look at it, especially when you're on the road. And David, you should write a book about that. You got to admit I'm fast. Okay, that's it. Although some people do think I'm slow.
Hey, find my picture.
I will find your picture. But first, while I'm looking, let's talk about AI. Let's talk about AI, right? They now have figured out that AI can predict a heart attack 10 years into the future. I don't know how it works, but Oxford University found that they can now predict through artificial intelligence whether you're going to have a heart attack within 10 years. So I don't know how that works, but I do know that it is a fact because it's from Oxford. So, I mean, I had a pair of loafers once, an Oxford pair of loafers, and whenever I would wear them, I would feel smart. So I'm sure these people really got it down. I wonder if they have to wear Oxford loafers in Oxford. Well, somebody from Oxford, please write us. Let us know. That's all I can say. All right. So
I know
talk
you
amongst
should look that
yourself.
up in the dictionary. Maybe they'll have that.
Yeah. All right. Talk amongst yourself. David, where did you send the picture?
I texted it and I sent it to Janet Soundbroker.
Well, Janet Soundbroker, there is no email like that. So, and we're not giving out my email on this podcast. So let me
David,
see if
where
I
are
can
you?
find it in the text.
You have to get them all though. You can get like vegetables.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I have found it. I am going to show you the picture now. Let's
The
see.
award-winning photo.
I would like a drum roll if at all possible, please. A drum roll. But here we go. Ready? And there it is. We're gonna come in. We can come in. Where am I? All right.
Nope.
Why am I not online here?
It's
There-
out of
there-
focus.
Oh, no, it's not now.
That's a
Well, I
pile
can't
of
even see
bones.
it. Well, wait a second. Why am I not being shown here? I should
Wow.
be shown. Let me
Oh, I
Hold
can
on.
see it. Wow.
Are you hungry, David?
pin this. All right,
Yeah.
there it is. Okay, well, let me get it in focus.
That used to be the waiter. We just ate him.
All right, let me make this picture a little bit better so we can see it better. I think I can handle that. There we go. There it is. Yeah, this is a great picture. And this won the contest. Okay, there it is. There, oops. There it is. You can
Oh,
see,
you-
could you see the
Doesn't
bones?
really. It doesn't
there it
read that
goes.
well.
So you
There you can see it. Now you
Actually,
can see
I
it.
think I saw some of that. That was on the news, but
That's
David
10
wasn't in the
guys.
picture.
10 guys doing all-you-can-eat ribs.
There you
Yes,
go.
that was definitely on the news, the national news here in downtown Australia.
I will
Tony Romas.
I will put that up on our Facebook page as well, part of this, part of the show. So there you go, you have it. All right, what else is going on, guys? Let's see. Okay, so I want to this is a public service announcement. If you're still listening, you're going to get some benefit out of this. So artificial intelligence right now, they have a lot of ability to clone even Apple right now. If you wanted Siri to talk to you as your own voice, and that must be pretty weird. You can go into accessibility on your iPhone and train Siri to know your voice, so that if you wanted to read something to you or you want to send something, I guess this is for people, I don't know, people that can't see very well. and they want it written to read to them in their own voice, there's an ability to do that with Siri or with the iPhone, where that it will read your own voice and it will duplicate your voice. And that's just minor technology compared to the really good, powerful computers, the AI computers they have. And so now this new scam is that they get somebody's voice, they assimilate it to that person, and then they call one of their relatives playing the voice saying, hey, I've been kidnapped, and the kidnappers want you to wire money immediately so that they don't kill me, or something along those lines. And that is becoming a big problem as well, because not only could they do that, they could take anybody and put in their voice, and they could control what that person is saying. So it sounds like it's actually from the person. So, for example, if there was a political figure, they could put some political words in that person's mouth that would not be what they would really represent to say. So, be careful. Be on the and now lawmakers are really getting involved into it. The Federal Trade Communication and the federal. Bye, Dave. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing.
My food's here.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, Dave.
Have a great week.
Next week. Happy
See
Thanksgiving.
you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, we'll be here. We'll be here the day before Thanksgiving. So anyway, lawmakers are getting involved in that. By the way, next week, Dave, we're going to also talk about indispensable audio engineers. So there you go. All right.
So let me.
All right, very good. Anyway, we are moving along, and I think that's about it for today for us, unless anybody has something that they want to say. If you have something you want to say, then now would be the time to say it. Wayne, anything you want to say?
No, not today. Have a
Greg,
peaceful
anything
week,
you want to share?
Just wanted to say it was we talked about it in the pre-show. Score a big victory for L Acoustics over counterfeit gear. They had several $1 million worth of counterfeit L Acoustics gear was destroyed here in Tampa. So
yeah, very graphically too, as well. They used the what do they call those earth moving machines, and
excavators?
Yeah, and they just dropped them. They made a big show of it. It was really cool. I saw some of the video. You could check it out on YouTube. I don't have a link for that, but just L Acoustic destroying, I guess something like that would pop up if that's what you needed to find.
Yeah.
I loved it today. Today was great. Thanks so much, guys. So I will be next week. I'll be coming live from Bangkok, Thailand. The difference you'll see is my background will not be the same. It will be different. And
Tina can give us the whole lowdown on how Las Vegas either survived or crashed on the F1.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that really in great detail about what's going on with Formula One and with all the shows and everything. I have a good friend, Joe, who owns a sound company here, Walden Media, I'll just say that. And he tells me that he's busier this weekend than he's ever been in the history of his company. He's got so many things going on with Formula One, so many shows, so many different venues, so many different he is doing. I mean, I bet everybody is extremely busy this weekend in Las Vegas. And Tina, what's it like out there in Las Vegas as the reporter on the street? Is it people crazy, or what's happening?
No, it's just really, really busy over there around the track right now.
Yeah, and I hear that
really
they're not selling the way they thought they would sell. I heard that the attendance is down. They're starting to give away free seats. That people are complaining that they paid a lot of money for a hotel room, and now the hotels are not as full as they thought. The Airbnbs have they've had to drop their rates, and there's a lot of vacancies. So I guess one of the problems with this particular race is that the winner of the Grand the Grand Prix or the F1 has already been determined. This race is superfluous because they've already have enough points that the person who's in the lead, which I don't know who he is, but maybe somebody
Verstappen.
does. Yeah, that he's already won based on points from all the previous races.
Yeah, but that's the season. Yeah, he's a season winner, but there's also a whole bunch of people that are going for second, third, fourth, and fifth, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's not like nothing else counts. It's just that he just has tons of points, and then there's all the other guys going for the other top spots. Like he's literally almost 300 points ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
So
wow, he must be one hell of a driver.
Well, he has been. He's just been killing it in all the races.
I bet he can make.
There's one more race after this.
Uber.
There's one more race after this. So.
Yeah.
So that's what they're racing for.
If things go wrong, he can get a job for Uber or Lyft. He'll make a fortune. That's it.
Not in Vegas this weekend, I bet.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not there right now, and I'm on one hand I'm glad I'm not there, and on the other hand I wish I was. So but you can't be in two places at the same time. Unfortunately, I think that would be a good thing. I know most of the drivers here in Thailand feel that way, that they could be in two places at the same time, but. Which is not true. You can only occupy one space at a time. That's it. So with that in mind, next week is Thanksgiving. We'll be meeting the day before Thanksgiving. Well, I guess that's the busiest travel day of the year, they say, for America, because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving anywhere else but in America, that I know of. Anybody know of anywhere else that they celebrate Thanksgiving?
No.
Nope. Well, anyway, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in the world, and I want to stay away from politics. But man, if you're watching what's happening in Israel and the Middle East, I want to wish everybody world peace. That's all I could say is I wish for peace on earth. If I've ever wished that before, I've always been a peacenik ever since I could remember. Unfortunately, that's just one of those things that seems to elude the world. Peace on earth, and we all go like this: peace, and I mean that. Peace be with you. Just remember, you make it happen. And before we say goodbye to the world on social media and streaming, is there anybody that has anything they want to share?
I agree with you, Jan. I wish there was peace everywhere. And maybe we could learn to live within our boundaries that are currently around, and everyone spends as much effort making everyone's day better than arguing over the pieces of land or whatever it is. Peace.
Yes, I agree with you. I just don't understand that we're all people. Everybody has the same needs. Everybody has the need to eat substance. They have that we need to drink water. We need to get exercise. These are the things that everybody needs. And live and let live is what I say. Live and let live. Peace on earth and goodwill to all men. And as we get into the holiday season, that's what people say: peace on earth. And I couldn't wish it any more. Then it's the most sincerest thing I believe right now is that we need peace right now. We need peace on earth, and I wish everybody the best that life has to offer. And with that, just remember, you make it happen. Everything you heard today was opinion. Today was the 15th of November, and Ken Porter's walking into the room. We'll have to give him a chance to say something, because I'm sure, LAINEY Wilson is a close personal friend of his. And did LAINEY bring a message for us? Ken, did she say anything to you about us?
She said she deals with the best sound company in all the world.
No, that's right. That's right. It's Spectrum Sound, ladies and gentlemen, of Nashville, Tennessee. We were just about to say goodbye to the public. So we'll give you an opportunity to, if there's anything you want to share with the world. We were talking about F1. We were talking about, all these, LAINEY winning all of those awards, and nobody in the room knew who she was but you. And you weren't here to defend her. That's all I could say.
Oh, well, the other one too, that we ran over how cold it's going to be in Vegas for the race. Let's see, we set all our recording for our DVRs for when they're going to show them tonight at way too late, or tomorrow night. And that we saw that prices have been plummeting on tickets and for hotel rooms in Vegas right now.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, yep, we've covered all that.
And we got all the summary. They really needed a good star to bring people to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, did you see the name of this show? The title of this show is that you should write a book. And we're going to do a segment. I'm going to spin this off into its own show, that you should write a book. And I'm going to be interviewing people about stories that they have had in their life that people have said to them, man, you should write a book, and I'm sure you have plenty of those stories, Ken.
How about Tales from the Road?
Yeah. Well, Tales from the Road, I think we already have. But I think that you should write a book. I don't know about that. But if Tales from the Road, hey, if you have Tales from the Road, that's what you should write a book about. And we'll help you.
If I wrote a book, it'd be misspelled.
Yeah. Well, I would say if I wrote a book, nobody would believe anything. They would think it was a fantasy. They wouldn't think it was true. Some of the stories I have are the most imaginative stories you could possibly come up with, and they actually happened to me. So that's the most amazing part about my life, is that it's my facts are much stranger than my fantasies. So there you have it. And I've got proof of that, by the way. But it's buried somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll say goodbye to the world, and we'll just stay in the room and chat. If you want to be part of the show, just send the DM. Remember to share the show with your friends. If you're in the show, give it a like and let people know that we exist. We're doing really well. We're getting a lot of views. So thanks for watching. Remember, you make it happen. Be safe and stay healthy. And we'll see you again next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Coast time. And until then, you make it happen. So have a great week. Bye. And we are off the air.